Welcome to Numb Bills Fan Podcast for episode number 141. I'm your host, David Palermo, and as always, please subscribe on iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, and follow along on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm pretty big up on Instagram. If you want to see like what's going on, the real deal tailgates. I don't know if you see any of my little cheat codes for parking. Park at 555-520A. If you come in through the field house, at least that's where I roll to get to the Red Pinto tailgate. So also we're brought to you by Grandstand Sports Network. Those are the guys responsible for getting me on the sidelines to pretend I know something and kind of look around and see people that aren't on the team anymore, which is kind of neat. Got these cool media cards. So thank you, Grandstand Sports. So follow them along on Twitter, Instagram as well. And if you don't know about it, get on grandstandsportsnetwork.com, and they have pretty much like a 24/7 radio station that you tune into, and I have like a time slot. So every time I drop a podcast, it rolls up in there. There's a lot of great podcasts on there. Cover1.net has a draft podcast. Also, Locked On Sports Franchises up on there. And lastly, brought to you by Punch Drunk Sports, and it's a podcast for three comedians, Sam Tripoli, Ara Shafir, and Jayson Thibault. And Sam Tripoli has a comedy album out called The Diabolical, I believe. And Ara Shafir has a special on Netflix, a double special called Double Negative. And on the line now with us is Jayson Thibault. And what do you got going on, man?
I'm literally pissing in my kitchen sink right now. Literally urinating in my kitchen sink. And I live in a studio apartment. It's 4 steps for me to get to the bathroom. So what's up, everybody? And I swear to God, I'm not joking.
Does it smell? Because usually when I pee in the sink, it kind of smells a little extra.
Nah, everything's straight up. Everything's golden, bro. Golden. And this is also how I do my dishes. And there's a water drought in California. So this is how I save pretty much the planet. Thank you. What's up, everybody? How are you? Dude, did you really just give out free... like the advice about like where the cheap parking is at Bills games?
Yeah, dude, this guy's awesome. I may or may not smoke him up a little bit when I pull in, and come to find out like he may have a relative or may not have a relative that does like Wolverine appearances. And
hang on, let me tell you this. You sound robotic. I'm going to give an audio break if anybody's listening to this and it sounds the same way.
Oh, how's that sound now?
Yeah, that sounds way better.
Okay, cool, dude. I won't move.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you're welcome, listeners. That is a professional podcaster right there. You are welcome. Yeah, man, everything's cool, man. I'm glad to be on the show. I'm ready we got the Falcons Bills this week. Crazy week with this whole Trump thing, which is just, it's nuts. You know what's so funny, bro? I'm gonna make 2 points, right?
Yeah.
2 points that I want to make. One, does everybody not remember the 1980s when Donald Trump and his father tried to buy the Buffalo Bills and they were denied by the NFL owners? And then he started the USFL, and then he sued the NFL for a monopoly in which he actually won, and they were forced to write him a $2 check. He's hated the NFL since the 1980s, and now he's the president. You don't think he has an axe to grind? It's like me getting a movie and tweeting about my ex-girlfriends being like, I told you, bitch.
Yeah, it's honestly ridiculous because, you know, I don't really dive into politics because I'm not smart enough, but it turns out like the more we live, the more life is, for me at least, like idiocracy. Like, dude, no, don't call on me, man. I can't be smarter than you. You look so much smarter. But really, Donald Trump is a fucking president. Like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? It's
Secondly, my second point to make, which both these I forgot to make on Punch Drunk, so if Punch Drunk fans are listening to this, you know, this came to me later. Second point I want to make is that so factor this exact same shit in too as well. So tries to buy the Bills, goes through all that, does all this. Now he's fucking with the NFL. And basically what he's saying in a public rally is, I'm the president of the United States, and the NFL, their ratings are bad. They have a bad product. The NFL does not respect America, the flag, or the troops, which none of that is what this is about. And fuck the NFL, right? That's what he's saying. So Cut to, I saw a tweet from about 6 years ago when Obama made a statement about, I believe that the Washington Redskins should entertain changing their mascot name because a lot of American Indians say that it's offensive. And Donald Trump started tweeting at Obama saying, the president of the United States has no business getting involved with the NFL, and you should be worrying about presidential things. What, motherfucker? And now you're doing what, you fucking bitch? Fuck him.
And dude, not for nothing, the Bills are not the team to
Robotic
mess
again,
with.
sounding robotic again.
Dude, really?
Now you sound good.
All right. And the Bills are not the team to mess with the racism thing. And it's like, Jim Kelly's our fucking hero here. And not for nothing,
Scott Norwood. Don't forget about Scott Norwood.
Hey, man, he came back to Buffalo and they clapped for him. You know what I'm saying?
That
they
30 for
embraced him.
30. Dude, I'm a fucking grown-ass man. I was probably 43 when I watched that thing. I'm sitting in my apartment, the one I just peed in the sink in, and I was crying, bro. I was watching that, and I was so choked up. What a wonderful city. What a city like that deserves sports teams, even though, it's not, you don't get – it's not like LA. I mean, a city like this, like Los Angeles, does not deserve sports teams. I get we're the biggest city, but dude, there's not that many homegrown fans that aren't Mexican.
You know what the problem is with the NFL? Like, really, what the big fucking problem is with the NFL?
Hypocrisy.
Not even that. I think it's a broader. The hypocrisy is really that, these old guys, they're really just transferring from fucking flip phones to iPhones now. And if you notice, those same people are getting online and trying to like pull the racist garbage that we pull. Oh, that's just crazy Uncle fucking Kenny. We know he's a racist. Yada, yada, yada.
To me, the problem is that politics is now involved in football when it shouldn't be. Because if we really were concerned about the issues, there should have been a lot more boycotts. Right now we're seeing more boycotts about this protesting thing, which is totally your American right to do. We are seeing more protests about this than we were about Michael Vick killing dogs, about Ray Rice punching a woman, about Ray Caruth trying to assassinate his pregnant girlfriend because he didn't want her to be pregnant, than any of these, real issues, DUIs, drug addiction, the end of the CTEs, the rampant use of steroids, the rampant use of HGH, all these different things that are actually much more important human issues. Whatever, that's just the NFL. Whoa, somebody doesn't like the troops? Whoa, hey, get out of my country, Nazi. It's fucking stupid.
Dude, I'm at the stadium, and all of a sudden, you just get these dudes rolling out with their little green vests right in front of it, and it's like, it's just... Is this not on both ends so transparent that it's about money no matter what? And it's just like people are finally catching up.
It is not. It's not transparent. They want to keep that the big secret.
And it's like, it seems like every time I go to a game, I'm a season ticket victim. And every time I go, it seems like Military fucking Appreciation Day. And like, no disrespect to the military. I appreciate y'all. I went down to the damn recruiter office. I backed out, but I'll be honest with you, like, for real, dude, we don't need to just pull some vets on the field and just have military appreciation make a whole thing about it, because all you're doing is pushing the envelope here. And, people just got to keep their heads on straight. What is this really about? It's about injustices. I mean, if people haven't even just popped on that documentary 13th, and this is coming from a white kid who was bullied on a basketball court, like, I would go down to the city and try to play ball and make the foul shot, get picked, or get bullied and not fucking play. Like, I mean, that's just what happened, but like, it is what it is, but like, how about people putting on some documentaries and at least do the counter research? The problem is people don't want to research. They want to hop on a fucking team.
Well,
you know what I mean? Don't drag my sports into it, dude.
I love to hear other people's point of view. I love to hear, I'm like, hey man, I don't agree with you, but like, tell me where you're coming from, a very, very kind Punchline fan hit me up on, I don't know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, one of the usuals, and was like, hey man, I listen to every show, and I heard what you were saying about Trump and all this, and I live in Texas, and I'm a Republican, and I'm a conservative, and like, I would like to actually give you my angle on this. When you come at me in that kind of a way, I'm like, brother, please, yeah, hit me up. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Oh, hell yeah. And I've been on
But when you're like, get out of my country, idiot, you can suck my dick. I'm like, bitch,
well,
I don't even want to get engaged in a conversation with you because you're a closed-minded person that isn't willing to put issues on the table and be like, what the fuck's really going on here? And what's really going on here is Donald Trump, the NFL is his ex-girlfriend that said, nope, you're not fucking good enough for me. The NFL literally told Donald Trump, and it's your team, bro, your squad. His dad and Donald Trump tried to buy the Buffalo Bills. And if they would have bought the Buffalo Bills, the USFL never would have happened. And then they didn't. So then they concocted this idea, let's start this fucking league, the USFL. There's a whole documentary about this. The USFL, we're going to start this league. And then we are going to, a la the NBA and the ABA, we are going to dissolve because we cannot compete with them. We're going to sue them, the NFL, for a monopoly. And they're going to be forced to absorb 4 of our teams, one of which was owned by Donald Trump and his father. And that didn't happen. But in the lawsuit, they go, you know what? But you are right. They do have a monopoly, and the NFL owes you $2. And they gave him a $2 check. Now he's president of the United States, dude. This is his hot ex-girlfriend that was like, sorry, man, I just don't see it going this way. And then he worked his whole life and became the president, and now he's got a goddamn axe to grind. I guarantee you that's what's going on right now.
Do you think, not to get all weird, but I was texting with a friend, and he thinks there could be, he thinks it's a smokescreen for something else.
I mean, maybe a nuclear attack on North Korea.
I don't know. I'll
throw that out there.
I mean, it's just crazy because, man, I want to turn on sports, and it's like, you know, I'm so fortunate that people can podcast, because if I had to listen to the radio stations that have to talk about quarterback all day,
it changed my life. Podcasting changed my life. It changed my adult life.
Me too.
My comedic life. It changed my comedic life. It gave me a career. Podcasting gave me a career. So I'm very grateful to. I'll always do any podcast. And I'm very grateful to anybody that listens to Punch Drunk or any other things that I do. I'm starting a new podcast. I was telling you earlier, which I believe will drop Halloween night. It's called 92.7 The Pod, and it is a fake morning radio show. Janice and O'Neill are going to be on it. Boone Shakalaka is going to be on it. Don Barris is going to be on it. Jeff Richards is going to be on it. Sam Tripoli's on it. Ari Shafir's on it. Everybody's playing different characters. And, it's almost like a sketch show. It's an hour-long sketch show. And it's I'm using this medium to do the kind of comedy I want to do. And that's what's beautiful about this. I'm doing with my friend Sarah Lehman, who's wonderfully funny sketch comedian. And she and I have such a good rapport, so she kind of plays the Robin Quivers. So it's pretty much me and her the whole time. And Johnny from Punch Drunk is producing it, if all the Punch Drunk fans. And so he'll have a part in there. And it's just going to be a fun way to, fuck off. So, yeah, look out for that. 92.7 The Pod. It's going to start. There's a big cliffhanger at the end. I'm going to drop them all like a Netflix episode so you can binge listen to the whole season 1. And the teaser episode will come out Halloween night.
Now, I heard you had some comedy. Didn't you have some comedy dates coming up? You always do some good comedy dates.
Oh, hang on. Wait. Keep going. We'll talk about something else. I'll find some good old ones because I got my notebook here. But I'll do some good dates out the gates for you too. But actually, if I could plug this too, when does this come out, bro?
Dude, I load this shit ASAP. I am so lazy.
Okay, so then everybody, end of August, if anybody is listening to this, or end of October, anybody listening to this, 27th, 28th, 29th, all that whole neck of the woods, 26th, from Thursday to Sunday is the All Things Comedy Festival in Phoenix. There's about 5 different bars and clubs that are going to be hosting us. We're doing a live Punch Drunk on that Friday night. And everybody's going to be there. Bill Burr's going to be there. Al Madrigal is going to be there. Ari Shafir is doing a Skeptic Tank from there. Sam Tripoli is going to do a tinfoil hat. We're doing a live Punch Drunk. All of us are doing like 3 or 4 gigs in that town. So literally the whole town is lit up with all your people from All Things Comedy killing it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So if anybody's listening to this, I would say come to that. Let's see. Oh, wait, that's not a good one. I'm going to find a good dates out the gates for my gang here. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to raise enough money, guys. Everybody, please listen to this because I need your help. I'm trying to raise enough money to start a comedy festival, speaking of comedy festivals, on the International Space Station. So, and we're trying to bring 400 comics, so you're going to need a lot of money for that. I'm going to be on the sucking side of a glory hole at the La Brea Burger King, 8 p.m. all year. So every night, apparently, at 8 p.m., I'll be. Oh, and then I'm at Thirsty Turds. I'm at Bird Floozies. I'm at the Sticky Taint for their Dine and Dash night. Hope people stick around for the comedy show. And then I'm a night of 1,000 bachelorette parties, which is a nightmare to comics if anybody's ever done stand-up. There ain't nothing worse than a bachelorette party or a birthday party full of girls.
I don't know how the fuck you come up with this. I really don't. Like, every time I hear it, like, dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, I was telling you earlier, like, I'm a drywall finisher. I sand drywall by trade. And I was, like, on a plank and ladder the other fucking day, like, probably 2 weeks ago. And you went into, like,
Sounds like a sexual position.
Dude, you went into, like, 4 digressions talking about, I don't know, somebody's mother and something. I don't know what the hell you did. But I was literally, like, about to fall off the sink because my shit just started wobbling everywhere. And I'm just
Hilarious,
like, oh, my God.
bro.
Yeah, dude, it was...
Don't die, dude. Don't die, dude. Don't die.
No, I really, sometimes, man, you know, they might be better off, but the All Things Comedy Festival, when you guys talked about it, it's like, I mean, that's brought to you by, I love how that is. I mean, that's brought to you by real comedians who are like, pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, like, fuck everybody else, why don't we do our own thing, right?
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you how that whole thing got going. You know, when podcasts got big and then Joe Rogan and Death Squad and all that was going on.
Yep.
Well, all of us that were friends with Joe Rogan, luckily, and friends of Red Band, got really big numbers in podcast listening, and we were the only people that were really doing it. And we're all comics, and, you know, we realized it was perfect for comedians. And all these networks popped up of all these seats and all these comedy clubs, and everybody wanted to start their own network. So we got to go to, you know, from Toad Hop Network to John Lovett's Comedy Club to all these different ones where we would go bing, bong, bing, bing. And they were just like, you can play with all of our toys, but, you know, we're going to use your numbers to bring in advertisers.
Right.
And then we had to do all these dumb ads, proflowers.com. So we'd be talking about eating butthole, and we got a producer giving us like the hand signal. We're like, oh, guys, Mother's Day is coming up. Nothing says I love you, Mom, like a nice bouquet of flowers from ProFlowers. And we'd have to read this dumb fucking thing. And, man, when I say our fans hated it, and we knew podcasting was the future, and we were like, we're going to go the other way. We're going to go sex toys, cigarettes, pot, anybody that can't actually advertise but makes a lot of money. Now they can advertise on podcasts. So we were doing like LA Speedweed and weed delivery services and Fleshlight and all these different things. And we were making money off that shit. And then the market kind of changed and they realized, oh shit. So Al Madrigal and Bill Burr had the foresight to go, what we should do is start a co-op of all podcasts, of all of our funny comedian friends, and we all have equal ownership in it. And we all agree on what advertisers we bring in that, so, you know, people like BetDSI and you know, Caveman Coffee, and if you ever listen to Punch Drunk and, you know, SeatGeek and, you know, people like that, you know, those are ones that Punch Drunk got. And we've got a wonderful working relationship with these advertisers. But we have an online gambling site that gives you free money to gamble with.
Yeah, I heard about that. What is that promotion, though, by the way? Because I actually want to do that, and I wanted to hear it again.
Dude, go to all you got to do is go to betdsi.com, use the code PUNCH25, and that gives you, you know, set up your account. That gives you $25 free to gamble with. And if you build that $25 up to $5,000, you're welcome, bro. Tell me thanks. Buy me a beer when you see me next time.
Dude, you're talking about blackjack, man. Like,
oh yeah, you heard this week's episode. Yeah, dude. I got a big blackjack obsession. I have a system that's 12 for 13, and the only time I lost with my system is I was there with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, "You just sit here, I'll tell you what to do." So I was like, "We're both playing my system," but it was also my money. So I got down so quick because she got down and I got down. Like, I could have handled me getting down because I know I'll get back. But we both got down quick. I was like, fuck, I'm about to tap out. So, but
I didn't know about that 10 to 24 or that $10 to $25 layover. Like, that's fucking genius if you know the times. And then,
that's a great one.
You
man.
know,
if you ever get to a blackjack table early, is what we're talking about. You get to a black table. So let's say you're in Vegas or you're, you know, wherever you are. on a casino, a cruise, or whatever the fuck. And you sit at a $10 table, because most tables during the day are $10. But around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, they switch them to $25 because now everybody's been drinking, and now the big gambling crowd comes in. So now they're making more money. You know, they'll entice you to gamble during the day or twilight, you know, like dusk, to gamble, sit down and gamble, because well, hey, the table's only $10 right now. Later on, they're 25. If you sit at that table at like 6, and now you're playing at $10, when they switch them out, if you are still sitting in the same seat all night long, when it's a $25 table, it's only a $10 table to you because you're grandfathered in. They put a little marker right by your thing. They don't want people to know that, but it's very true. It's all part of my system.
Dude, we have these fucking butthole casinos. Like, I did an event, like a little draft show at Batavia Downs.
We got them out here. We got all that shit out here.
But they don't have like they don't have like blackjack though. They just have like slots and a fucking horse track. And I'm like, what is the difference? If you guys had cards, it's like, oh man, dude, and it's like the best game they say, right, for your odds and stuff like that. Like, is it something where you can guarantee it? Like, if you're like down in your luck, you could go down and fucking come out.
If you play smart, like, okay, so it's basically like this. Like, if I had, let's say I had $500,
right,
and I went to, and when I say I tested, I mean, I would sit at the same seat for 16, 17 hours. I mean, I really know blackjack. I'm not talking out of my ass here. When I would, so let's say I go to Vegas with $500, and my room is paid for, and my transfer, so I have $500 to gamble with, and that's it. You know what I mean? I'm going to Vegas for 2 days.
Yep.
That's about 4 hours away from us.
I've made that drive actually, by the way, when I was
LA to Vegas?
Yeah, because I have family in La Mirada, La Habra.
Yeah, it's straight drive through the desert.
Yeah, dude, and 19 miles down Beach Boulevard to Huntington Beach is a fucking hour, no matter what.
If I got let's say I'm going Friday night and I'm coming back Sunday night and I have $500 and I'm like, I am just gonna fucking gamble this money. And I play 10 hours a day, so I play 20 hours of blackjack. I will come back with $840 and everything. That includes everything. That my room, my drinks, my fucking food, that's everything. And so I come back so I basically made $300 to go to Vegas. That's and
bad.
Drink and eat and, you know, so that's about, you know, if you play smart, because everyone's trying to get rich quick. But if you play smart, like a real blackjack, professional blackjack player, if you play smart, dude, you get to go to Vegas for free, stay there for free, eat for free, drink for free, smoke for free, hit on chicks for free, and then you come back plus 300. And that includes gas and everything. That ain't a bad goddamn weekend. But everybody goes there and goes crazy and doesn't play smart and tries to fucking get stupid.
And what in life comes without work discipline and like building on something? You know, it's like if you're a flash in the pan, I mean, just look at the millionaire complex. How many people have the lottery? They don't know how to fucking manage their money because they don't realize, you know, it's, I mean, it happens. I mean, it's like, you know, you earn that spot. You're crunching numbers the whole time, you know. It's like you gotta have the patience, and not everything's just gonna come like right off the bat, you know. Like I picked up hockey late in life, and it's like a fucking struggle, like really a struggle. There's always something to work on, and you know, like not everybody has it right out the gate. So it's like, how long did it take you to actually like hone it in? Like when did you get hooked on it?
On what?
On playing blackjack.
Oh, playing blackjack. Well, I mean, you know, when you, have you ever seen those cards or those sheets that are like, here's when you hit, here's when you don't hit?
Yeah.
There's a book written about that. There's several books written about that, but really all that book does is explain why each one you do and you don't. I read that book. So once I moved, I've been out here for 20 years. I'm from Chicago, but I've been out here so half my life in Chicago, half my life here. And, you know, go to Vegas, it was enticing to go to Vegas. And blackjack was just the most social one for me. You're drinking, everyone's on the same team. Poker, I'm playing against you. Blackjack, we're all playing against a dealer. So all 8 of us are on the same team. We all want each other to win. You know, we're all giving each other advice and all this sort of shit. So that's what I liked about it, you know. And so I'm like, oh man, I gotta find the best way to get bet. So I read a blackjack book, which just explained why each one's you don't do that. And then it's just math to me. Then it's just math to me. Then it's just that's tens and aces. That's it. You're just counting tens and
Now,
aces.
dumb question. Does blackjack work where they have like a whole, because I don't really gamble much. Does it have like, I've done like Texas Hold'em and then like blackjack. Honestly, when I see the table prices, which you brought up a good point, which is if you go to a higher table, you deal with less bullshit. It's just like, man, I have a hard time that high. You know, I'm not ready to commit, so I've avoided it. Now, when you do blackjack, this could be the dumbest question ever. Is it just one deck, or do they combine like however X amount
There's
they
all
do?
different. So one deck, you never want to play one deck. One deck is so dangerous. You do not want to play one deck.
Really?
Oh, do not play one deck blackjack. There are things called auto shuffles, which are these little things that they use so they never take the cards out. So everybody plays, they scoop them all in, they put it in the thing, and it just keeps shuffling it. So you are constantly looking at 5 decks of cards. Nothing is discarded.
Okay, that's easy then, because then your variables
No,
wreck down.
it's impossible to count tens and aces because they're all in there. But there's a thing called a 5-deck shoe, which is more old school, and you still get those. A lot of people prefer them because real blackjack players prefer them because they are. Every card that's gone is gone now. It's gone. So I can sit there and count aces and tens. If it's a 5-deck shoe, I know there's 20 aces in there.
Oh.
If I've already seen 17 aces gone and I need an ace, I'm less likely to bet. But if all 5 decks, it's really almost time for them to get a new whole fucking thing where they have to reshuffle. Like they're about to stop and then get new cards. I know there's still 7 fucking aces in there because I've only seen fucking 13.
Okay, I thought it worked like shoe in general. I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. That seems easier.
Ways.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 different ways that you can play. And what you don't want the auto shuffle. The auto shuffle, no cards are ever discarded, so they're all in there. So now it's really, it skews to the house like 10%.
That's really awkward. How did you become to transition this? Anyways, you're from Chicago. I told you
Yes,
I'm
sir.
a big Bulls fan, and
I grew up. I tried to open Michael Jordan's car door once, his rookie year when he had a Corvette. I'm a diehard Bulls fans. I went to 20 games at Chicago at Chicago Stadium before the United Center was built.
Really?
The old school one. Oh yeah, dude. I grew up Bulls, diehard Bulls. I was a Bulls fan before Jordan, just because I lived in the Chicago area.
what, man? It's like there's just something in sports. I don't want to be that homer about Jordan, but just like, man, the All-Star game was on. Like I was at Dave and Buster's a few weeks ago, and like one of the old like '92 All-Star game was on or something, or it might have been with like Shaquille,
Yeah,
young
that was
Shaquille.
after he came back. That was after he came back from baseball.
Yep. And dude, like that, because I was born in '84. That's when like stats, I would sit there and count Jordan's stats. And I was so sad when he retired. I'm like, what the fuck's this dude doing? I would just count his points. And anytime Luke Longley touched the ball or Tony Kukoc, I'm like, get rid of that fucking thing, dude. Like, don't even think about fucking shooting it. And it's like, dude, what honestly, I know it's a podcast about football and I did not expect to do this. I actually wanted to transition, like, how the hell did you become a Falcons fan? But I had one question for you.
I got that story, but go ahead.
Dude, like, what happened with the Bulls? Was it Jerry Buss or whatever, the GM or something that they didn't like? Or not Jerry Buss. Who the hell was the GM of the Bulls?
Jerry Reinsdorf.
Because Phil
Jerry
Jackson
Reinsdorf.
didn't want to come back, and it was like something stupid why they didn't play it. Like they didn't go again, right?
Well, I mean, you see that a lot of times. There's a power struggle between Reinsdorf and Jackson, and I think Phil Jackson knew, Pippen, Joey. It's like, this is over. So I'm like, I'm going to ask for the moon. And if they don't give it to me, I'll take some time off and figure out what I want to do. And then he wound up with the Lakers. I mean, Reinsdorf and Phil Jackson never got along. And you see that a lot of times. You get along great when you're winning. And Phil Jackson did not want to rebuild. I mean, he knew he had one of the greatest teams in the history of sports. Why do you want to go through a rebuild when you're 70 and you got bad back and your knees are bad and I can just go to fucking Hawaii and make out with fucking Jerry Buss's daughter?
Yeah, right. Good for him, dude. I don't get it
maybe concoct a way to get Shaq to the Lakers and maybe I can coach the Lakers for a while I'm spraying down his daughter. I mean, let's not forget what a brilliant, brilliant person Phil Jackson has always been.
You know what I think that the trick to Phil Jackson is honestly, like, this will sound so like crazy to some people, is I think the fact that you hear stories about meditation and yada yada yada, like I think he actually gets in those players' head to, manage them somehow to be a part of the team. And
Well,
also,
he's just a very centered person. Eddie grew up playing basketball, played in the pros, coached the pros, was fucking the assistant and the basically offensive coordinator of the Bulls when Collins was a coach. Doug Collins was a coach. And then Doug Collins got fired because they just couldn't get over the hump of the Pistons. And then Phil Jackson took over. And right when Phil Jackson took over, he had a fucking year 4 Michael Jordan and drafted Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. And now he's running the triangle, and no one even had seen that before.
oh yeah, that triangle was groundbreaking.
It was very serendipitous, but he's a good, he's a guy that grew up playing basketball, and he's a basketball mind. He knows basketball, but then he spent a lot of his life learning about like the human condition, and so it makes him very conducive to talk to players because he knows how humans work and he knows how basketball players think. So yeah, man, the guy, he carved out a nice little life for himself, which once again, I can't stress this enough, concluded with him spraying down Jerry Buss's daughter in Hawaii and then becoming the coach of the Lakers and winning fucking 1,100 more rings. So good for him.
Dude,
He's got more rings than he has fucking appendages or fingers and toes. He's got rings on his toes, for the love of Christ.
I just get pissed when it's like, how many times did Michael Jordan come back? And I'm like, dude, like this ain't fucking cool, man.
Let's be honest.
Nobody
remembers the Wizards days. I mean, let's forget about that. That doesn't matter.
It's just like, dude, man, basketball is a different game. Like, I mean, I've been playing hockey for a couple of years at 33, and it's like I love it because I thought like life was over. I tried picking up golf, and like hockey's a lot like golf.
Oh, golf's the best, bro. You got to start playing golf, dude.
Yo, you know what the fucking problem is with golf?
It's the best sport. It's the best sport because you know why? You get out in nature. You get away from everybody and everything for like 5 hours. So for 5 hours, your phone's off. You're just out in nature, which none of us in this world get out in nature enough. So if golf has to be your excuse, then go out, play golf. It's the only sport where drinking and pot helps you. And you get to see like hawks and deer and moose and fucking squirrels. And you're just like, man, every time I golf, I'm like, man, I never get out in nature enough.
Dude, I'll be real with you, man. So in my defense, when I did golf 3-4 times a week, I would go by myself, and my experience was like construction worker guy. Like, my time is fucking money, and I would golf, and I get behind these old people, and I'm like trying to fit 9 in like 90 minutes. Like, I don't fucking play. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get out. I've walked an 18-hole course, I swear to God, in like 2.5
Doesn't matter
2
if you
hours.
Don't play, man.
I'm just saying, man.
Gold medal. Everybody wants a trophy. Get out and fucking swing a golf club and smoke a joint and fucking be like, dude, this is fucking rad.
Yeah, but see,
I sit in a cubicle too much.
I was straight edge at the time, so I didn't even touch weed until literally the last few years. So it's like
that doesn't even matter.
Now it's a different thing though, because I kind of do like the nature more, and I think I'm more into a relaxed lifestyle. But it's like hockey, it's kind of like the same thing. You got your short game to work on. For golf, you got your skating you got to work on. For hockey, and there's no old people, man. The old people hold you up and just spend like $25. Do you walk or drive?
Depends, of course. I'm a cart guy.
I lose my ball with the cart. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't. Actually, you should lose it the other way more so.
I just take a beeline.
Oh, you sound robotic again.
Oh, man, what the fuck? How's that?
Nah, but not good.
Oh, Jesus. Is that better? Oh, dude, it could be my headphone adapter for you.
That's better. Whatever you just did right there.
All right, dude. So, real quick, how the hell did you get into the Falcons? And
Here's how I got into the Falcons.
Can you roll into the Super Bowl thoughts? Like at least touch on that. I know I don't want to cause you pain, but like.
Well, here's how I got into the Falcons. Born and raised Chicago area, big Bulls fan, big, humongous Cubs fan. By the way, got the W today. Go Cubs, go. won the Central, so I'm proud of the Cubs today. Literally wearing Cubs World Series shirt, Cubs World Series hat right now because I watched a Cubs game today.
Nice.
So big Chicago sports fan. I'm a Bears sympathizer, which means they're not my favorite team in the NFL. But the Falcons are done. I know if the Bears are winning or doing well, everybody that I care about in my life from back home is so stoked, and that's such a great sports town. So if it can't be the Falcons, I'm liking the Bears. But back in the day, early '80s, that's when everybody had football cards. There was no ESPN and nothing like that. Like, you would get your info on football cards. We would always be trading football cards and shit. And my uncle lived in Atlanta. My great uncle lived in Atlanta, and he would always come up every year with this motorhome, which was always rad. And dude, he brought me a Falcons hat and a Falcons jersey when I was like 10. And I was like, oh, I guess this is my favorite team. So then we would be playing football on the street and shit. I would always wear my Falcons jersey when I was 10. So then all my friends started giving me all their Falcon cards. Oh. So I established like this humongous collection of Falcon cards. And then I started just liking the Falcons. And then Madden came out, and I would always use the Falcons, and all my friends wanted to be the Bears or the Colts. And no one would ever fight with me to be the Falcons, so I learned players through Madden. And then Deion Sanders came into my life.
Oh, my God. What?
And I was done, bro. 1989, I'm fucking 17 to 16 years old. 1989.
So you're playing Tecmo. You're playing Tecmo and all that shit.
Tecmo, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Tecmo to Sega Genesis to PlayStation all the way through.
I went Nintendo and then Super Nintendo, and I did like the Tecmo Super Bowl stuff.
Well, Tecmo on Nintendo, of course. I meant
right.
Tecmo on Nintendo.
Well, I did Super Nintendo. I didn't go the Sega route. And then everything just switched over to Madden, so I learned to love Madden. But I mean, dude, that's like the way I learned how football works, and it's like, it's crazy, man. Like,
me too. There's a part of me that thinks I got my RedZone job from Madden because I learned so much about football and formations, and the more that game evolved, the more I learned about football, the more I saw it. And then, like, when I got my job at RedZone 14 years ago. Dude, I was so knowledgeable about football, and I've never played organized football in my life.
Same here. My friends laugh at me, man. My friend runs this website, cover1.net, and it's like the best analytics ever, dude. Like, this dude goes hard, right? His name is Eric Turner. Like, if you checked out his site, Jay, you'd be like fucking stoked. You'd be like, oh, fuck. Like, this dude does it. His name's Eric Turner, and I'm telling you, like, he laughs at me all the time. I go, dude, man, I would love to do, like, YouTube videos of, like, money Madden plays and why they work. Like, there's a gap. I want to do that. You know what I mean? Because it would be fucking rad. And, like, dude, I go through the skills trainer. I'm like, oh, there's the hole. Have you played it lately? There's the holes in the cover, too. Oh, there's the holes in the cover, too. Like, dude, my girlfriend, I put her through the skills trainer. She's never played Madden in her life. I took her to the game. She doesn't know how football works. And I kid you not, she has no attachment to players. She read the defense right off the fucking bat, ball out on the third step. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I get attached like, oh, I'm going to hold on because I stay loyal to my fucking team. I'll go online. I'll get my ass kicked because I'll use whatever Bills team it is. And it's like, if they decide that Tyrod Taylor can't all of a sudden throw the deep ball, even though he's one of the best ones in the league, I guess that's how Madden's rating him, and it's an incomplete fucking pass. You know what I mean? Like,
you sound robotic.
Oh, man. How's that?
Keep going.
You there?
No.
No?
Still bad.
All right, how's that?
Talk again.
I'm back. It might be my freaking Wi-Fi or something. How's that sound?
Great.
Really?
Yeah, it really does.
Okay. Yeah, dude. So essentially, Madden is, you know, I laugh. People laugh when I think that coaches should all play Madden. If they're not playing Madden, they're doing something wrong, because, you know, people think.
Two things. One, you sound robotic again, and two, all players play Madden. All NFL players play Madden. All of them, it is a goal for them to find out what their Madden rating is. It is a goal for them to light it up. There's YouTube videos that go viral of rookies finding out what their Madden rating is. it's
Right.
so it's that it's become that much part of the culture of the NFL is one single video game because it's lasted for 21 years. Madden is like the Simpsons of video games. Simpsons is the longest running TV show in the history of television.
Am I a robot?
Yes, you are, sir.
Oh, you know what, dude? I was probably just spiking. Is that better?
Nope.
Oh man, like how robot is robot?
Pretty robot, dude.
Dude, how am I not hearing this through my headphones? This is like crazy. Here, let me pause this, see if I hear it back. Alright, so we're back. So Jayson, you're a Falcons fan, and or should I call you the Teeb? Like, what do you like to be called?
Everybody calls me something different.
I don't want to be rude.
But you're not being rude at all, man. Call me whatever you want. I get Jayson a lot. I get Thibault a lot. I get Teeb a lot. I get the Teeb a lot. I get Teebs a lot. I don't know where that one came from. And then I have two friends that call me Jay. So call me whatever you want, buddy. That's a you pick 'em, my friend.
Some people are really sensitive. You know what I mean?
Not the Teeb, buddy.
Okay, so now we both hate the Patriots. We don't have to dive into it. I don't want to cause you too much pain, but I feel like the Patriots are the luckiest fucking team ever, and I think that the Bills, to sympathize with them, they kind of have a crapshoot being in that division with them, because it seems like they get away with murder. Maybe I'm too much into Spygate or not, but there's a lot of stuff that you kind of find out comes out later on that's a little creepy, and even I think the stadium design for Gillette Stadium is creepy, and it's just like where there's smoke, there's fire, man. And it's like I don't know. What's your thoughts on that team in general? You don't have to talk Super Bowl or anything if you don't want to, but like,
good talking to you, buddy. Have a good podcast, man.
Oh man,
everybody, thanks for listening. No, I'm kidding. I actually do not like to talk about that game too much, but I will talk about. God, it's a real. Well, let's go this way. Remember August 19th? Remember August 25th? Like the week before the NFL started? Remember September 2nd? Will the Patriots be 19-0? Will the Patriots go undefeated? Will they ever lose another game in the history of time? They got smoked by Kansas City at home while they got their rings. They're overrated. They're overrated. They got a good system. They definitely have cheated. We've proved that several times. They have a system of cheating set up. I mean, like you said, where there's smoke, there's fire. Well, where there's smoke 3 times, there's a fire problem.
Yeah, and not for nothing. I mean, you look at things where.
Did you notice that they were 0-1 and they were still in the top 8 in power rankings? Did you notice that they were 1-1 and they were top 4 in power rankings?
How painful is it to be a part of the media and you know they're not that good?
Did you notice they were 2-1, had a comeback win where they should have been up the whole time, and now they're top 3 in the power rankings? You mark my words. The Patriots get beat in the first round of the playoffs. Mark those words. That's what happens. The Patriots' destiny is getting beat in the first round of the playoffs, and they're going to get beat at home in the first round of the playoffs.
Whatever.
I'm not saying by who yet. Or the Patriots go to Kansas City and get their butt fucked again.
Whatever you do, don't do a bag of bets on that, and don't do a bag of bets of that triple decker, because like, dude, I was gonna fucking puke in my car.
Oh my god, the triple deckers.
Dude, that can't. That's like inhumane, man.
That's talking about the 3 Mile Island iced tea.
Yeah, if you want to explain what that is.
Well, Fight Nanny, she's the female on our show. Great person. And she had heard about Ari had explosive diarrhea because he had food poisoning. So he had diarrhea, and then he just put his face in his own diarrhea and then threw up on top of it, and then sat back down and then diarrheaed again on top of the puke that was on top of diarrhea. So she was so grossed out about it that we were just making jokes, and we're like, dude, what if we throw like 20 ice cubes in there, and then we take like a big ass like wooden spoon, stir it all up really good, stick one of them big curly straws in there, and then you got to take like a 12-ounce sip of it.
Dude, that's. I mean,
Oh my
Ari's
God.
asshole just got bleached, right? I mean,
Um, almost made me throw up right there. I started gagging right there thinking about that.
it's like I don't know. It's it's not right. I really hope it doesn't make it. It's just
So let's talk a little Bills, Falcons. I'll tell you what. I tell you what is my new thing that I just thought about today when I was thinking about this podcast and doing it. Every single team that comes to Atlanta, eight games, 8 home games,
yep.
is going to be dazzled by our new stadium. You are not going to believe this new stadium. And I think in a weird way, that's an advantage for the Falcons because this is our stadium. We've been practicing in it. We're used to it. But you come in here, you're looking around, you're looking up, you're like, wow, this is all blah, blah, blah. Hey, man, we're focused on the game. You guys are looking at this Jumbotron. You guys are looking at all, you guys are star-studded by a stadium. And I think that's a fucking really interesting advantage that we just found.
I will say I think the team is pretty quote unquote well disciplined because Sean McDermott is like the perfect spokesperson where he is Bill Belichick-esque, but he has a pulse as far as
You
like
guys lose. You
Huh.
guys lose by. You guys lose by 10 or not? Yes or no? That's my prediction. Falcons by 10. And I'm not talking shit. I'm not trying to be a dickhead.
What's
I'm
the
just saying,
spread on it? Because those guys are actually
8.
pretty smart.
Spreads 8. Spreads 8. Spreads 8.
Can I ask you a couple pointing questions first,
Of
and
course.
then
Absolutely.
go back to
Absolutely.
it? Okay. So you've seen Sean McDermott's defense over and over and over again, and the first thing I thought when Sean McDermott came to Buffalo is, what the fuck are you going to do with speed? And because Luke Kuechly is a monster, and not for nothing, I watched Leslie Frazier's defense because I'm also a Vikings fan growing up too with my father. So it's like I got into Frazier, and I think he's a good coach. And just it's like I'm trying to draw parallels to what the Bills had for linebackers, and I wasn't sure. And next thing you know, this Bills defense is coming together, minus a Marcel Darius, and
Can I pause you there?
yeah.
Your secondary is all new, still figuring it out, and you have one of the best passing offenses on the road. You're coming to Atlanta's new stadium, and this new secondary is just gonna get dazzled.
I know. I'm worried about that, but
it's
dude,
not about. We know your linebacker's good. We know you're going to be sending those guys humming. We know that's what. But Matt Ryan is so good at that, like hike, bam, and the ball's out of his hands, and it's this crossing route with Julio Jones, and some rookie is just going to be like asking him for his autograph while he tries to tackle him 19 years later.
I'll be real with you. So the Bills played the Carolina Panthers, okay, and the bend don't break defense, like that's cool and all. But one thing everybody hates, and unfortunately in that game, it got cleaned up. The last game got really cleaned up against the Broncos. But the bend don't break problem is you're taking 7 minutes off the clock on a drive, and you're not even getting through 16. You're getting through 16 plays in the first half as an offense.
But you're also keeping your defense on the field all the time.
Right. And the big thing is too, and I'm worried about this with Matt Ryan.
That's how the Falcons lost the Super Bowl. You know how the Falcons lost the Super Bowl, and this is all I'll say about this. This is all I'll say, because I fucking hate talking about it. Here's how we lost the Super Bowl. We had a young defense last year.
Right.
6 starters were second year or rookie. They were on the field for 16 plays while the fucking Patriots tied the game. And then we lost the coin toss. And that exact same young defense had to put their helmets back on and go, oh, fuck, we're about to lose the Super Bowl. And that's exactly what happened. And that's what I mean to say about the bend and don't break is, man, you got a defense that just has so many snaps when you get to week 10. And then it's just a break. Then it's just a break defense. Week 12 on, it's a break because all your linebackers are gone. Your whole rookie secondary and your whole new secondary, 2 of them are gone. It's like, I don't think you could put the bend. Here's my problem with the bend, don't break defense is you put so much tread on those tires and it's such a long season.
they got to get the Bills. If the Bills' key to success on the Bills' end, and I know this is such an overrated point, but there was no turnovers in the Carolina Panthers Bills game. Okay, and that secondary is young, and the big problem is they were you got all new pieces, right? At the same time, they're fitting the system really well, and the secondary is actually for the Bills way ahead of the game, more than you would than we all thought it would. Jordan Poyer from the Browns, hurt last year, went on IR. He comes over to Bills. Him and Micah Hyde happen to know each other through mutual friends or something, and I guess they're tight or whatever. And they're doing all this work, etc. And it's actually showing up on the field. I'm seeing a lot less miscommunication. Saw Trey White, the rookie. He's showing up like he's coming at. Watch that kid, number 27. He is a fucking missile, dude. Like, this team is a sure tackling team, but the problem I see is on 3rd and long, at least at the Carolina Panthers game, when it could happen with Julio Jones and Matt Ryan all day, they convert, because they throw underneath the zones and they get the yak yards, and they miss more tackles against the Panthers than
we're
usual.
great at yak. I mean,
exactly.
Mohamed Sanu, Taylor Gabriel, and Austin Hooper. We saw what he did to the Bears, and of course Julio Jones. We're great at yak, but let me make this point to you, and this is my point to anybody gambling. And if you want to use BetDSI, use the code PUNCH25, and that's $25 to gamble with. And here's why I like Atlanta in this game. Look at 3 years ago. We hired Dan Quinn, who built Seattle's defense. And we want to be a defensive team. We already have the dopest offense.
Right.
But we are so sick of losing 38-45. We've got this young offense built, but we need someone to build our defense, and that's who we hired. So we're like, okay, our offense is locked in. Julio's got a contract. Matt Ryan's got a contract. We got Mohamed Sanu's locked in. Taylor Gabriel. Everyone's locked in. And our offensive line's locked in. Right? So look at our division, bro. Look at our division. And look at the NFC. If we're going to get to the Super Bowl, who do we have to beat? Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. And then you look at our division. Jameis Winston, Cam Newton. Our defense is built to stop scrambling quarterbacks that make improvisational plays happen. Who's coming to town? Buffalo. And the best thing that you guys have going on your offense other than Shady McCoy is Taylor's fucking scrambling ability and his ability to extend plays. Our defense is built in the last 3 years to stop quarterbacks like you. We just don't have to fuck with Tyrod Taylor too much. But the rest of these bozos, we got to see them in the playoffs and twice a fucking year. Our defense is built to stop what you guys are building.
Yeah, and
that's why I think we win by 10.
And not for nothing, to transition with it, the Bills' offensive line is in shambles, and the long story short of it, to me, is they, you do something really good, which is power football, and pretty much fuck up the dude straight ahead of you, and now you're moving laterally in a zone defense, and if somebody penetrates that zone or zone offense, if somebody penetrates it, the way the flow is of that zone for the offensive line, dude, it's over.
You know how I beat the Bills? If I'm a defense coordinator, you know how I beat the Bills? 8 in the box all day long.
Yep.
Best receiver, best DB on Matthews. Matthews is just, he's literally going to get Mark, Trufant is going to be on Matthews all night long. We're going to put 8 in the box, and we are going to stop McCoy, and we are going to stop Taylor. And that's what you do with 8 in the box.
Now look.
And so, in theory, watch the Bills win 43-6.
No, I agree, because I'm in the stadium last game and I'm like fucking pissing my pants because first down, they're running the ball every single time.
Do you go to every game, bro? Do you go to every game?
No. Just the home ones. But
you go to 5 or 6 home games a year though.
I go to all of them because I spend the money on it. So I'm like,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm a season ticket victim, and it's like I honestly totally fucking lost the hell we were talking about, dude.
Now, as a season ticket holder, do you develop a rapport with the people that are around you because they're also season ticket holders. So you know, like, oh, Larry and his wife are here, and fucking, hey, what's up with your daughter? Whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I develop a rapport. The kid that sits to the left of me, him and his dad, we're like the one kid I've had on the podcast. He's like 24. His name's Scott Cameron. He'll be 25 now, and his dad's cool as hell. And his kid actually went to school here at St. John Fisher, which is where the Bills did camp. Got a job here, so we became buddies. And the guy behind me, he has this one dude, he plays guitar, and he would bring his son, and you know, you kind of know, yeah, exactly, dude. Like, you know, people, you get to
That's
know
cool.
everybody. It's really neat, but dude, the problem is like when I was a kid, I was so broke. I looked at like season tickets, like, oh my god, dude. Like, I looked at a stadium like you look at fucking Disneyland. You know what I mean? And I'm in Rochester. Man. I'm an hour away from Buffalo. We had no pro sports teams. I'm like, what do I care about fucking AAA baseball and fucking the Amerks? You know, like, it ain't the Sabres. It ain't. You know, it ain't major league. I grew up watching fucking Jordan, and my favorite team was the Orioles. Like, could I pick fucking worse teams besides the Orioles and the fucking Bills when it comes to losing? You know what I'm saying, dude? Like,
dude, I'm a Falcons fan. I mean, we've been good for fucking a year and a half. What are you talking about?
yeah.
My whole life I've been getting shit on.
Let me get okay. Now I remember. So
and a Cubs fan. Cubs have one good year.
Dude,
my entire 45 years being alive.
You guys finally did it, and I agree with you that the Dodgers.
It took 45 years. You don't think for 40 fucking years I didn't hear how much the Cubs suck? Every time the White Sox won a World Series, every time Cardinals or anybody else. I mean, bro, I've been getting my balls busted forever. Right now I just happen to be. Took me 40 years to get on a winning streak with a few teams that I'm a fan of.
That's why I take the Patriots cheating so personal, because like people's lives get flipped upside down with NFL jobs, and you have 53 guys not just on the roster, but obviously practice squad plus. You know, you have more guys, and you have all these coaching, scouting staffs, and you're in a division with a bunch of fucking cheaters, and you're working your ass off not to be a fucking loser, and you're taking heat from radio stations and everything, low-hanging fruit, to pay for ads or do whatever the hell you got to do, and it makes it harder on these sports teams to be like, man, I really want to go out for these fans. When people go, man, the Bills fans are the best fans in the world, I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, I don't know about that. Maybe, maybe not, but like, you know, you're going to have your Philly fans, you're going to have your asshole fans, you're going to have whatever, but like, at the end of the day, it's like you just hope that you get through this shit and you can appreciate that fucking championship, you know?
Oh, of course. I mean, I will never, for the rest of my life, forget Cubs winning the World Series. I was in Chicago. It was the best night. Literally was the best night of my life.
I heard that story on the podcast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was the best night of my life. It really was. And you can hear that story in my album coming out. Return to the Red State, ladies and gentlemen. Return to the Red State coming out for about a month. It's coming out, and that you can hear that story. It literally was like a month after that. A month after the Cubs won the World Series, it was when I recorded my album.
Dude, it's so good to hear you like recording stuff and getting it out, you know? Because I think, man, when I was in a pub truck, I'm like, who's this fucking guy? And then it's like, holy shit! Like I'm like, you just, I don't know. You're just you. So it's like, I don't know, man. It fucking.
Hey, man, that's all you can be, buddy. That's all you can be, man.
It puts me responsibility. It puts me in risky business. Okay, so real quick, I think the Bills, they're offensively, I think they're really predictable. As in, like, you know, Rick Dennison's never allegedly called games until now. So, offensive coordinator of the Bills. So, what I'm getting at is the Bills are great on play action, and we finally saw, you know, Jordan Matthews isn't really the biggest target that you got to look out for. It's really Charles Clay.
Hey,
real
quick. I hear what you're saying. Oh, Charles Clay is great. I would like to talk about
play action, but Shady's not doing anything with that offensive line right now.
You know who else is good at play action? The Packers, the Seahawks, the Bucks, and the Panthers. The exact same teams our defense is built to fucking fight. That's my point. You guys are great at play action, of course, because you have a scrambling quarterback and a great running back that you have to respect. Right. And when you build a defense around that, because the entire NFC is that, and my entire division is that, that's why I think the Bills are in trouble.
I'll be honest with you, too. You know, Brandon Beane, our new general manager, they look like geniuses right now getting something for Sammy Watkins, or I should say in August, getting something for Sammy Watkins, but not for nothing. Sammy Watkins on the field, I've seen it time and time again. The best part about being in the stadium is if you sit in the 300s or at least the 200s, which are way too much money, but the threes closer to railing, you get to see that Madden flow. Like, you get to see the whole play, and you get to see the safety roll towards Watkins and open that up for whatever fucking running back is there. And with the Bills'
Well, I'll tell
offensive...
you what.
What's that?
Watkins fits in perfectly to the Rams' offense. Watkins fits in. It's that literally it worked out good for you guys because you can build to the future, and it worked out for the Rams because they are under pressure to make Goff look good.
I'm shocked they did all that. And you know what? Sometimes,
He looks good, though. He looked good there, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's coaching. Like, how the fuck did Jeff Fisher keep getting a job? Like, really? How did Jeff Fisher... It boggles my mind. Like, how the hell
Well, Jeff Fisher is at your... Jeff Fisher,
he's so stocked, dude.
But, dude, we're the same generation. So, Jeff Fisher is... Jeff Fisher is...
Starter jackets?
Our father's coach. Our fathers. So, when Jeff Fisher died at the Rams, you watched a dinosaur walk into a tar pit and become extinct too. He's an old school generation coach, and that doesn't work anymore. And that's okay. But he's gone. And he'll never be a head coach again.
What do you think happened with Vince Young? Because I kind of pieced something together through hearing some shit on the radio. And a former player mentioned that, like, a quarterback they didn't want to out on the radio who happened to be like a first-round pick that came to the Bills while he was playing. And this dude only played for 3 years on the Bills, and then he got some kind of like a medical injury. I don't want to out him. But, like, essentially it added up to Vince Young. And dude saying, like, he would come into practice, like, not even know the fucking playbook. So, like, I will give Fisher that, but, like, I just think he's like a lame duck. Wait, what do you mean you're going to give him an extension? You're moving.
If Vince Young isn't prepared, if Vince Young, by the way, he was also suicidal in the car at one point in time. There's a lot of things we don't know what's going on with that. If Vince Young wasn't coming there prepared for work, then you got to go. And the other thing is, like, he also runs a kind of offense that, what happened to RG3? Why isn't it? Because you got to change your entire offense to fit the quarterback. Instead of, we got these great receivers, we got these great running back, we got a great fullback, we got a great, whatever. And let me put into you in terms you understand, where the Bills. So you guys paid a lot of money for Patrick DeMarco, who was one of my favorite Falcons.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on him, by the way?
Oh my God, I love him. I was devastated when he left. Pro Bowl fullback, blocker, can do everything out of the backfield, but he picks up blitzes. He blocks for your running back. He does. So if you have someone like Shady McCoy, and you're like, let's get this guy, and you got a young quarterback, let's get this guy because all he does is open up holes for a running back and protect the quarterback. And that's how you make a Pro Bowl. And so let's say you spend all this money on a guy like that. And then you go, well, our quarterback just went down, so we got to pick up this guy that's going to scramble and run and do all this RG3. It's like, man, we got all this money invested in running a pro-style offense, and now we're just going to throw $8 million to a quarterback that's just going to run and fuck up the whole system.
Rick Dennison.
Johnny Manziel, same thing. And I'm not talking about alcohol. Johnny Manziel, same thing, though. Man, you got to run this offense. This ain't about you just making a whip plays with your feet, because we've invested all this money in receivers, tight ends, blocking fullbacks, protection blocking fullbacks to run a pro-style offense. So if we bring this quarterback in, we are now throwing good money after bad money because we've invested in a season of running a pro-style offense, and now we're running globetrotter shit.
Are you confident in your team's pass rush? You're like pretty fucking confident that they can blow shit up, because the Bills' offensive line and flux from a mainly power scheme to a zone.
But we got Vic Beasley's out this week,
right?
And by the way, he led the NFL in sacks last year.
So our number one pass rusher is gone. So it's like Von Miller being gone.
Our line's just
but I'm
not
still very
gelling,
confident.
man.
I'm still very confident. I'm confident.
The Bills line is not. It's a shambles. You just watch these plays and it's like, thank God we have Tyrod Taylor, because over here the quarterback on the bench is the next best thing. And a lot of fans, they have a tendency when they watch Bills games not to be so objective because we get so emotional as a fan. And it's like when you pop on like Sunday Night Football and you don't give a fuck about the teams, you're not really worried about how many targets Sammy Watkins has. You're not really worried about the stupid shit. You're worried about like, okay, how did they lose?
I think 4 sacks. 31-17 Falcons. 31-17 Falcons, 4 sacks.
I think the Bills will sack you guys 5 times. I know it sounds like a lot.
That is a lot.
Okay. Because they got Cam Newton. Now, I know it's Cam Newton. He's not as smart as Matt Ryan. Because Matt Ryan... No. Does Matt Ryan get sacked?
Yeah, once or twice a game.
Because this Bills pass rush, dude...
but a lot of his sacks are like him just like, I'm not going to throw the ball away. I'm just going to take a sack, and then it'll be 2nd and 13 instead of whatever. You know what I mean? He's smart with the ball. He knows I'm going to get sacked anyway. Why do I got to try to make something happen, maybe force a turnover?
Now, how have you faced against McDermott defenses in the past? So, like Carolina, essentially, how did you guys typically...
I mean, it depends on the years, you know. I mean, there was the years when Carolina went to the Super Bowl and they were better than us, and you know, I mean, that's a weird question because
they run like a they run a cover.
That's a personnel, but that's personnel. That's personnel.
Well, what about schematically? They run a primarily, I believe, a cover 3, right? So it's like I think Tom Brady's
going to McDermott. Last time when McDermott was with Carolina, a few of those years it was Mike Smith's team. And we weren't a defensive team at all, and you know, schematically, like, I mean, I don't know if we faced a McDermott team with, I mean, Sarkisian is our first-year offense coordinator, so technically, we've never faced a McDermott defense with a Sarkisian offense. So it's, you know, personnel, yeah, I mean, but it's like, you know, we're running a different offense than we were last time we faced him. So
good
well
point.
as everybody in the NFL. So, you know, it's almost like we'll see Sunday. It's almost like that kind of thing, you know.
I think honestly, I think the Bills can be shut down if you can penetrate the line, which I don't think is a tall task because you got a lot of wage spending going on, and you know it's going to take some time for the offense to gel, and people are just knowing, okay, take out LaShawn McCoy, and what do you got? You're going to have to do the other thing. And Tyrod's MO has been he can't throw over the middle. I always defended it, being like, no.
Oh, he can throw over the middle all the time. Dude,
same.
Dude, Clay is killing it over the middle. Clay is a very underrated tight end. If you're in a deep league or if you need a backup tight end, Clay is a wonderful one because you know what? Those scrambling quarterbacks always love that tight end. Because who's the guy that's getting open over the middle of the field? It's the tight end.
It's a safety
Every
valve.
broken play is a goddamn tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Because DBs and safeties are so worried about the receivers. And you know whose job it is to cover a tight end? A linebacker. And you know who gets tired after running around on a broken play and forgets he's supposed to guard because he's looking at his eyes are focused on the quarterback? The linebacker. So it's always a tight end that's open. If you got a scrambling receiver, those tight ends are good. Look at Vernon Davis during the Kaepernick years.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
Look at Reed with the fucking RG3 years.
What about your division, Greg Olsen? You know,
I mean, look at Greg Olsen has made a career with Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm. And that guy was even.
There's a
3
reason.
years
There's
ago,
a reason Tampa Bay's #1 pick was the best tight end in football. O.J. Howard. There's a reason Tampa Bay took O.J. Howard with the 13th pick overall. Because we have a scrambling quarterback, and that tight end runs receiver routes.
Football is all about the mismatches more than any other sport, and the reason I love it's chess three-dimensional. Like there's so many layers, philosophies, egos, and dumb shit that gets in the way.
NFL is chess meets the UFC, in my opinion.
My friends think it's WWE, and after watching the refs, it seems like they don't really fucking care to get it right. And
no, that's not true. That's not true. The WWE is way more real than the NFL.
Honestly, think about it. You have your heroes, you have your villains. You know, it's really ridiculous. And man, So, anyways, about this game, because the refs all just rail forever. You guys already do it, and it just I can't stand seeing fat guys. I can't stand that like we have great technology and we all see it, but you assholes can't even look up at the fucking jumbotron and conference and be like, no, that was
there. They're getting there.
Why does it take so long, dude?
You look 5 years ago, we didn't even have an option to replay it. We just had to take the loss.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be on the. It shouldn't be on the coaches.
They're getting there.
You know what
They're
I mean?
getting there.
So
they're getting there.
What is like? Is there a way you see the Bills losing this game? Because you have this, I believe, on your podcast as like a bet pretty much, right? Like you would bet on this that the Falcons would win. Or did I put that in your mouth just now?
Spread is 8. Spread is 8. Spread is 8. I think the Falcons will cover. Yeah.
Okay.
There's several ways I see us losing this. I mean, Julio Jones' back is banged up. I mean, crazy turnovers. I mean, the NFL, it's crazy. I mean, everything I say is always wrong. If I was right every time, I'd be a gazillionaire.
First 4 weeks
there's a million
are
things that could happen. There's a million things that could happen. But if you ask me, with my intel and what I know, yeah, I think Falcons win. 31-17 or something like that. 27-20. Falcons will cover the spread.
I think if you guys can hold on.
28-14, something like that.
28-14?
31-4, 31-17. 31-17 is what I think.
I don't see the Bills winning this. Like, I can't hodgepodge something together. I could see the Bills winning against Trevor Siemian because it's Trevor Siemian. When you assume that there's pressure there and you're getting rid of the ball quicker, okay, he's rattled. I mean, the best of them. Tom Brady, I don't understand why people just don't fucking put their head down and just cream his ass. Like, right off the bat, get that head rattled. Take the 15. You're doing nothing else. Phil Jackson would do that, right? He always had to do it on the bench. He would send out. Who the fuck is that? And
I would love someone to put Tom Brady in a shallow grave. Right,
dude, seriously. And do you notice on a side note, like, it seems like at 40 or 41, Tom Brady decides he wants to run more and throw the ball deep. It's like, is Bill Belichick trying to, like, just put guys around him so he could trade him and throw in Garoppolo and just simplify again? I don't understand, because Tom Brady's going to hang himself, because if you're throwing the ball deeper more, don't you think, even though he's doing it fine, it's like, don't you think you're putting yourself at more risk for turnovers and shit like that? But it's a lot of yards after catch with, like, Brandon Cooks, so I don't know, man. I just kind of wish the guy would just go away.
Sure.
So
I wish he went away 9 months ago.
How do you see, like, what's your biggest concern as a Falcons fan? And then I'll give you my answer to the 10 points, and then I'll let you bounce.
Injuries, that's it.
How's your depth?
Stacked as fuck.
Okay.
Just injuries, man. Julio Jones goes down. Freeman goes down. Matt Ryan goes down. It's a house of cards, buddy.
I think that it was absolutely, and I had empathy for you because when you were talking about it, I believe before last season started, like, really crazy when people were kind of questioning if Matt Ryan is the guy or not. You know what I mean?
I hate that.
It's like, guys, don't get bored here. Stop it. Stop it.
I just hate the ring argument. In a team sport, I hate the ring argument.
Me too.
Back on the quarterback.
And then when you add it up, it's like football is kind of fucked when you look at all the variables and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like,
dude, it's 22 people. It's the only sport where you don't play defense and offense both. Baseball, you do both. Basketball, you do both. Hockey, you do both.
And you have less time to practice now. It's like, we knew with that CBA that these teams are going to get dumber. Like, if you're taking away time from kids to learn these playbooks, I mean, especially in like you got a white people's asses society where the parents are like their best friends for a while. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, dude, everybody still expects, the media still expects, and they love to run, especially in Buffalo, these things that, like, if you just get the quarterback, you're all set. Well, look at Andrew Luck. Like, no, it's not just the quarterback. You still have to have a team. And year after year after year, there are consistent teams who make the playoffs with an average game manager. I mean, are you telling me Alex Smith sucked the whole time? No, he had to get with the right coaching. And, it's like, I'd rather take a quarterback that's been around for 5-6 years that maybe doesn't have that much playing time and build him up. And look at Alex Smith. He's doing things now that he's never
He's
done in his
dope.
career.
Alex Smith is a dope quarterback.
Dude, and they just gave him time. I mean, Andy Reid gave him confidence. Hey, come here. You're going to be my quarterback. No questions asked. And look what happens. You know what I mean? So, 10 points. I think
that's to be. That's to be.
Man, I think the Bills could hold the Falcons to no more than 3 touchdowns. So it really comes down to the Bills' offense to me. And honestly, they're very predictable on first down. And I really think that, because there was a series where the Bills got an interception. I believe it was Boyer. They got an interception. And, no, he didn't get picked that game. I think it was.
I just think we have more weapons than you, offensively, and I think that your secondary is so new and young that it's going to get exposed. And I think that Matt Ryan's first half is going to be a lot of quick releases, so you don't get those sacks.
Yep.
And then the second half is going to be a lot of play action with bombs. That's what I think. We'll see.
I don't disagree. I just don't have confidence in the Bills to always do the right thing. They could have just been in field position, get the ball at their own 40 or at, dude's 40 against
Let me say it like
Broncos.
this. Let me say it like
I don't
this.
know, man.
I don't feel like
out.
you guys. Let me say it like this, bro. I don't feel like the Bills know who they are yet. And the Falcons definitely know who we are. We're the team that got fucking robbed of the fucking Super Bowl, and we're the exact same team with a new stadium. And come down here and get your butt fucked. And I feel like Atlanta has that kind of chip on their shoulder this year. And I like it. I like it.
I mean, that's what it takes, man. We talk Michael Jordan. He gets his ass beat by the Pistons. That dude starts lifting fucking weights. And, okay, take me down.
There's only one undefeated team in the NFC, and it's the Atlanta Falcons. So
I think it's going to be.
And one of those wins is against the Packers. One of those wins is against the Lions. And both those teams, everybody's like, oh, they're both making the playoffs. Well, we beat both those playoff teams.
Who do you think the team is before I let you go? I think the Bills, it'll be like 21 to, I think it'll be like a 21-17 game. Atlanta wins.
Okay. I'll take that.
Because like I said, man, it's like I don't have trust in the Bills to I don't think they know who they are on offense yet. They keep trying to progress, and it's going to take some time for this line to get going. And when you're switching, what you're asking these guys to do, now it's like, oh, cool. Now we have holes in our offensive line that really didn't have holes in the offensive line, and here we go again.
Yes, sir.
So, is there anybody, before I let you go, anything you think we should look out for as far as the NFL in general? Any wild stuff?
Well, in general, this week, it'll be very interesting to see what everybody does presidentially and how that gets handled into week 2. I mean, week 1, there's a big cloud of smoke. Week 2, is this thing going to continue, or are we just going to let it burn off? I hope we let it burn off. Hope it doesn't turn into a fucking big thing every goddamn week. I know ESPN, NBC, every network wants to make it into a thing because people will tune in to see, oh, is so-and-so taking a knee? Who isn't? But I think it's stupid. I think it's disrespectful.
You know how fast those cameramen just ran out there like they couldn't wait to get it? It's like God.
Dude, I mean, I work for the NFL. I know how that works. I mean, they are told early, this guy's going to take a knee, that guy's going to, make sure you get a shot of this guy on the knee. Make sure you get a shot, It's when I say that it is completely pre-planned, it is so pre-planned. So I think it's gross. And I think it's disrespectful to sporting. I think it's disrespectful to the NFL. And what's great about sports to me, as a man in America that's 45 years old, what's great about sports to me is it gives me an opportunity to check out. This is like The Bachelorette to me. My girlfriend likes The Bachelorette. So guess what? She watches that shit. You know why she watches it? Because she doesn't have to listen to politics, think about pregnancy, think about fucking everybody getting fucked over and the floods and the hurricanes and all this. I'm going to watch a Bachelorette and check out for 2 hours and just like zone out. That's what the NFL is to us. And you are taking that away from me, Donald Trump, by making me think about who takes a knee and who doesn't. When I just want to watch fantasy football, play fantasy football, I want to do my job at the Red Zone, I want to represent Punch Drunk Sports, and I want to watch football for fucking one Sunday
Why don't I have to fucking hear what a dumb fuck the president of the United States is? So can we please get it back to that? Can we please get it back to that? Let me fucking have one day where I can just watch football all day, act like I'm 12 again, play fantasy football, and then go back to the goddamn grind and giving my tax money to you, you fucking fat redheaded fuck.
And not for nothing.
Other than that, I love everybody. Thank you guys so much for listening. And please listen to Punch Drunk Sports. Go to punchdrunksports.com. And I implore all of you, if you like to gamble, all you have to do is go to betdsi.com, use the code PUNCH25, and you have free $25 to gamble with. Bet it all on what I said today. Falcons win by 10. Take the and if you win, now you got fucking $50. And now keep winning money. That is from me, Ari, Sam, Fight Nanny, Aaron, and of course, Johnny Woodard. That's our gift to you.
Well, Jayson, it's like really it's flattering to honestly go from Joe Rogan podcast on a job site, kicking around on a baker scaffold, coating ceilings and sanding drywall, to getting jaded of playing music, to doing a podcast and having Sam ask me to be a part of your Punch Drunk network. So it's like cool to cover the bills, and you know, I'm really stoked for your network. I think it's going to be like awesome.
Thank you, brother. Well, you'll be a part of it. So,
dude,
let's build
so
the empire.
flattered.
Let's build the empire.
Are you gonna do? Who's doing one for the Falcons? Are you gonna do one?
No, I actually have the official Falcons one, which is called the Falcoholics. These guys are great. They've been there forever. I've been a part of their show for 3 or 4 years, and we're gonna have them on there. And it's a wonderful podcast. So if anybody's a Falcon fan,
I'll listen. I'll actually listen to it to get the skinny on
Alan
that.
Stark, Alan Stark at Alan Stark, ALLENSTARK on Twitter. Follow him, and please, if you do, go, hey, Thibault did the Bills podcast, and he told me to listen to you. So at Alan Stark, if you can tweet at him and say, Teeb sent me here, that'd be a big shout out to me, man. I appreciate that. Please listen to Punch Drunk Sports. Get my new album, Return to the Red State, coming out next month. And please listen to my new podcast, 92.7 The Pod. It's a very funny comedy show. It's like Mr. Show meets a podcast. And it's going to be on All Things Comedy. So please listen to that. First episode drops on Halloween. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Awesome. Thanks, Jayson. Really appreciate it, man. And where can we find you on Twitter?
At the Teeb, TheTeeb, at the Teeb. Follow me there, and you can find everything else that I got going on, man. And please, if anybody's in Arizona, come to All Things Comedy Festival. You will not regret it. Bill Burr, Ari Shaffir, Sam Tripoli, myself, Al Madrigal, Theo Vaughn. Everybody's going to be there. We're all doing like 6 shows in 4 days. And we're doing a live Punch Drunk that Friday night. So come out last weekend of October to Arizona. So suck it.
Dude, way to go out. You know what I mean? Rack them. Your Jim Rohn would rack you. So, Jayson, thank you so much. I'll just pause the stupid shit. So, thanks again. All right. That was the Teeb. What a pleasure. He just goes. So, I mean, if you don't listen to Punch Drunk Sports, please check it out. It's hands down my favorite sports podcast ever. Sometimes it's not about sports. It's about the other things in life as well as sports. So it's really, really interesting. So, as always, check out them at Punch Drunk on Twitter, Punch Drunk Sports on Instagram, punchdrunksports.com. And they will be dropping a podcast, a sports podcast network with all comedians. And yours truly here will be the one covering the Bills. And stay tuned for that. Also, don't forget, Grandstand Sports Network. Thank you so much for supporting me in this podcast. And I've been your host, David Palermo. Make sure you check everything out. And numbbillsfan.com, if you want to click through the Etsy store, get yourself a limited shirt or some Bills memorabilia, support the podcast. Money just keeps the servers rolling. Website, whatever the hell. I'm not big time with sponsors. So take care. Thank you. I'm your host, David Palermo. Find Numb Bills fan everywhere you think of. See you. Bye.